For staying with us. My guest, Kenneth Okwonkwo, is here right away. Thank you so much for coming over.
Yeah, it's my pleasure being here.
So
good morning, viewers at home.
Good morning to you. So you saw the respondents in that sound we played hammering on the need to ensure issue-based campaign as we get set for commencement on November 28th. How has it been for those of you in the Labour Party?
Oh, well, you know, Labour Party is an issue-based party. As a matter of fact, it has it as one of its objectives to shape the content and character of Nigerian politics towards issue-based politics. Whenever you are attacking human beings, you don't have any issue at stake. That is why people veer from the issues to personality. Little minds discuss people. Average minds discuss events. Great minds discuss ideas. So this campaign from Labour Party is going to be driven by ideas, just like our principal. The incoming president, President Peter Obi, has always maintained issues, not persons. Talking about what he would do for Nigeria, not talking tribes, not talking religion, but talking capacity, competence, character, integrity. A man who is dedicated, determined, diligent, and disciplined. A man who has the creativity. A man who has the consistency. The man that Nigerians are looking for. And the man will soon come in 2023.
That's on one hand. If you choose to be issue-based, your opponents, are they on the same line with you?
Wherever they choose to be, let them be. When they go low, we go high. We don't even recognize, I'm sorry to say this, but after some intelligence reports, we have discovered that some of them have just been rehabilitated from something. So it's not everything that they talk that we reply. We must make sure that they said what they said within their lucid period when we can logically reply to what they are saying. So what they are saying is irrelevant. We are staying on the issue because we have a good market to sell.
And part of those issues will be past records.
Yes.
Records of the candidates in their previous offices. Recently, the record of your candidates in Anambra State came under question. I think over security issues. You expect more of this as the days and weeks prior to the election get close by.
Well, first of all, let me say that our candidate, Peter Obi, has already enunciated his strategy towards bringing about a secured Nigeria. His primary objective is securing and uniting Nigeria. And this he has said he would do through 3 levels policing: federal, state, and community. And with properly equipped, armed, and technologically driven security system. He did this in Anambra State. Recall, he was one of the early governors that employed the tactic of local vigilantes, and he used it to flush out all the criminals. Evans, the billionaire kidnapper, could not even become a Tanzania in Anambra State. He ran away. And when he was asked, he said it's Governor Obi's security tactics that chased him from Anambra State. And he dwelled in other states that are pretending to be fighting crime and became a billionaire in that state.
And was arrested in that state.
Yes.
And prosecuted.
After living like a billionaire, living right under their nose for many years, the state that purports to be the center of excellence, they could not even manage the security situation of their state. So Peter Obi is a man who has been known to use what he has to deliver excellence for the people. During his years, recall that the Inspector General of Police, Abubakar Mohammed, rated Anambra State as the most secured and safest state in Nigeria for the 5 years of Peter Obi's regime. There was no one bank robbery that was registered by the confession of the IGP. So when you're talking about such a man of excellence, when he tells you he will secure Nigeria, he will secure Nigeria. in this present government, I have a friend, and I will call him by his name so that you can inquire. Comrade Farouk Dasama from Kebbi. His mother died. He couldn't attend the funeral ceremony of the mother. They told him not to come because terrorists have taken over his city and have formed openly tolls. They have toll gates. They have checkpoints where they collect money and kidnap people. So people submit to them and they will tell you how much you will pay. In Nigeria, he was told not to come. The eldest sister died. He was told again not to come. And he said, to hell. This time around, I will never think about tribe. I will never think about religion. I have voted religion in the past. I have voted tribe. This time around, I am going to vote for my freedom. Nigeria, as I said, is in bondage today.
In bondage.
Oh, yes. So, we should vote for our freedom.
Between security, between infrastructure, between creation of jobs, between debt issue, which one should be the priority for campaigns?
All of them are a priority. All of them. But as an economist, I recognize that a leader should make his scale of preference. And the Constitution has been very, very plain that the primary duty of a government, by Section 14 2B of the Constitution, is the security and welfare of the people.
So it should take priority.
Absolutely, because people have to be alive first. You can imagine this government has failed in security and arrogantly refused to allow state police. Even the northern governors are now keying into state police. How can you establish a tier of government and you don't give them the capability to enforce their laws? It is archaic, outdated, or belongs to 20th century. Our principal, P2B, has made it clear. Not just 2 levels, 3. Because at the community level is where you get the necessary intelligence to give to the people of the higher level.
The community level should be the vigilante system.
Whatever name you give to it, I am always reluctant attaching nomenclature to issues so that people of different ethnic background, people of different idiosyncrasies can give their own name to whatever they formulate within their community to give it the greatest bite. So we are talking about a nation that is in dire need of security. And this government has failed. And they built their failure on the failure of PDP. PDP displayed incompetence. This government displayed incapability. And when incompetence meets incapability, it will generate inconsequentiality. So these two parties have become inconsequential to the developmental equation of Nigeria. And they are, even as presently formed, not even qualified to call political parties by virtue of our constitution.
At one point, did you realize this? You were in APC not too long ago.
Good. I was in this station being interviewed by Gbenga Relugbe in Jigsaw. And you can go back to it. I told him I was angry with my party. Then I was still in APC. Because I said APC had 6 years of grace to tackle terrorism. And the reason being that terrorism arrived in Nigeria by 2009 and PDP stayed 6 years after that. So after 6 years in power, you have no moral authority to refer to PDP as being responsible for your failure in protecting lives and property of Nigerians. And so I told them I was angry with my party. And when they brought this issue of obnoxious nomination form, that is 100 million naira, who even purported comrades that are supposed to be defending people, paid, even when they know they will not contest, for you to know the level of corruption, insensitivity that they have matured to. So I have been angry with APC because my loyalty is to Nigeria, first and foremost, and not to any political party, not to any human being. So my loyalty to Nigeria overrides every other sectional individual loyalties. And here I am, because Labour Party has offered me that opportunity for a new beginning. In Labour Party, as you know, the aims and objectives, Section 8, subsection C, to create a new Nigerian personality that will be patriotic, altruistic, transparent, committed to due process and rule of law in governance, in industry, and in all spheres of our national life. And they are exhibiting it, and they have it as their objective to promote rapid technological and scientific advancement that will bail Nigeria out from underdevelopment.
Do you and those that moved
within the shortest possible time?
Some of you that moved into the Labour Party, do you share in the manifesto of the Labour Party? For instance, the Labour Party is very clear on with its position on fuel subsidy.
Yes.
Your candidate Peter Obi has made comments in the past that he will remove fuel subsidy. Yes. And some people have said there appears to be a gulf between his position and that of the party. Where, how will it manage that gulf if it exists?
As a student of economics, I will tell you there's really no gulf. When NLC was talking, when Labour Party was talking about not removing fuel subsidy, what they were saying is not that they cherish you're paying our money to import the products we are producing. They are simply saying you cannot transfer the consequence of your inefficiency and incompetence for the workers to pay. So corruption is what they are adducing that is making Nigeria to pay fuel subsidy. Now, if you remove the fuel subsidy and you tell the Nigerian people to pay 1,000 naira per liter, they are telling you no. You are punishing the Nigerian people for the corruption of the people in oil industry because we didn't have any need to pay fuel subsidy in the first place. Not that they are enjoying that you're paying our money to foreign companies for a product that we have. Now, Peter Obi is saying, and he has done it before, I am going to eliminate the corruption in the oil industry. I am going to seal up the mouth of these kleptomaniacs that they will no longer feed on our oil, using it to satisfy their selfish interests. When I do it, I would have cut fuel subsidy by 50% on the instant. Then I will move towards supporting local refinery, which will make us self-sufficient in oil production. And automatically, the oil subsidy will be removed. So they are saying exactly the same thing. This other person has the competence to produce more oil to satisfy the market, whereby rendering subsidy irrelevant. This other person is saying, please, if you're removing subsidy, do not punish the Nigerian workers for the corruption of the present government. So you see, they are actually saying the same thing. And they will meet at a point where corruption is removed, oil production is increased, and then oil subsidy will not be needed anymore.
So they have a common ground.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Peter Obi is said to be, his area of strength is economy.
Yes.
That he's good with figures and all that, macroeconomic issues. And now security, you say, is a priority. We see, yes. We saw the other party, the vice presidential candidate, make reference to somehow being given the privilege to handle security if he's elected. It tells us of the importance of it. Now, how will a Peter Obi presidency deal with security issues based on those insinuations that he's more of an economist than a security expert?
From what you have just said, you have said it all. If a vice presidential candidate would tell you that he's going to be the commander-in-chief, what is he saying? He's already passing a vote of no confidence on the security capability of the president and the presidential candidate.
So will Obi share some of that responsibilities, and how much of his responsibilities as a commander-in-chief will he share with his deputy?
I have already enumerated how Obi took out the criminals in Anambra State and rendered it the safest state in Nigeria. And I'm telling you that Obi is a security guru. He has already told you how he's going to achieve it. So, which is his primary responsibility. So when you're talking about economy, it is after he has finished the security situation in Nigeria, which he did in Anambra State. And I'm telling you that the other governments have already acknowledged that their presidential candidate cannot handle the issue of security. And that is why the vice presidential candidate, before even being sworn in, is usurping the power of the president that may never come, that obviously will not come. Because if the vice presidential candidate is making him the economic advisor, by his own words, He said Tinubu will be in charge of the economy, while I will lead the troops to fight insecurity. And in fairness to him, he recognizes that his presidential candidate is infirmed in body and in mind and cannot handle the issue of security. Obviously, he cannot. Only to pay courtesy visit to an emir. He slept off.
Is that not the frivolities we are saying?
No. He didn't intend to sleep off. We're talking about capability. His body is yearning for rest. He didn't intend. He slept off.
It's a call of nature that we all answer to at some point.
If you are talking to me now as I'm granting an interview and nature calls me and I start sleeping, what do you take it as? Normal? This is morning. We're not talking about night vigil.
We see even senators in the chambers also answer to the call of nature.
Senators stay from morning till night and at times overnight. If it is a night vigil, I will tell you that I myself will even sleep off. When we did our convention in APC, 2018, I was in charge of the venue. I stayed there for 48 hours. Nobody saw me sleeping on the stage. And you went to do a courtesy visit, and right there, you slept off. And you're telling me, no, we're talking about capability.
Should that be an issue?
It is an issue.
We are stressing here, and if you take a look at our topic, ensuring issue-based campaign.
It is an issue.
Convince me how it will be an issue.
Oh, first of all.
Rather than a frivolity.
Oh, no. The job of the president is mentally stimulating and physically very, very exerting. A man who is not physically fit cannot handle the post. If you're applying for a job, you have the job specifications. And in the job specification, if you don't fit in anyone, it is an issue. We're talking about the post of the president, who is supposed to manage people with and through people. Physical capability is there. Go and check your constitution, section 144, subsection 2. Physical agility. Physical.
Is it in there?
Oh, very well. It is so much in there that even if you had become president and you lose your physical ability to govern,
because
your cabinet alone can take you out.
The same constitution empowers the president to delegate powers.
Oh.
To vice president, to ministers, to special advisors. Okay. Did the constitution not envisage that the president is in a position to delegate a lot?
Oh, very good. You know why? You cannot give what you don't have. When you talk about delegation, you're delegating the mentality that you have. You're delegating the leadership style that you have. You're delegating the physical vivacity that you have. Delegation means you cannot do everything at the same time. And so some people would have to help you do some. It does not mean you are not to be capable of doing certain things. When you're not capable of doing anything, you're not capable of delegating. We have suffered a lot from infirmity of presidents. Recall President Umaru Yar'Adua. When he was being brought to power, people questioned his coming in. Not because he's not a good man. He is one of the best presidents that have governed us. But because they said that he is infirm in body and may not last out his term. And what happened? It happened. And it has put a problem for us in the terms of zoning arrangement, which people are now talking about in Nigeria. If you talk about infirmity, you recall when President Buhari came into power, he regretted, my energy is no longer the same thing as I was when I was a military man. Why did he say that?
Okay.
It is an issue. If you are not capable, we are not saying you should not rest. We are saying go and rest. Nigerian president is not a retirement benefit.
Okay, we'll have to leave it here.
It is an issue.
Yeah, well, let's continue. So maybe some other persons who have a different opinion, but we'll have to say thank you to Kenneth Okonkwo, member of the Labour Party, for joining us today.